What's going on, everybody? For those of you who don't know, it is Negotiation November, deemed by Castleberry Consulting. My name is Trevor Castleberry, CEO of Castleberry Consulting and author of the For the Hustler book series. I am a construction management professional, business efficiency coach, and a negotiation consultant. And I'm here every night at 8 p.m. I know I'm late tonight. I'm going through the beta test run of my Game on Leverage challenge, and I've been dropping a lot of knowledge, and I go over time more often than not. Sorry about that, but that's a bit more important right now because that's where you guys are gonna want to be. So, anywho, I'm here every night at 8 o'clock to teach you all new tips, tricks, and info about negotiating, specifically for price negotiations that will help you in terms of employment opportunities, closing sales, and securing corporate partnerships. So today, I'm here to teach you all about how to gain leverage when closing a sale. And this is really for my self-employed folks, although this would definitely also work for employees who work in sales. But self-employed people, we all know how hard it is to close sales, especially when you're a content creator, you're a course creator, but you were never trained to be a salesman. So when you get on that phone call, you just end up babbling off about everything you put into the course or the product, instead of telling them the opportunities and outcomes that are awaiting them, as well as letting them understand and making it clear that you have the leverage here and not them. So the four things we're talking about today are 4 sales emergencies making you seem desperate and deceitful, or the 4 sales emergencies you must avoid unless you want to seem desperate and deceitful. So let's dive in. Number 1, we have you don't have any existing clientele. That is an emergency. If you're a salesperson, if you're a small business owner, that is an emergency unlike no other. If you don't have any existing clientele, why? Because now it makes you so much more emotional about every single sale. It's like, oh my God, I haven't made a sale this whole month. It's the 18th. What am I going to do? And now every single sale that you go into, instead of being a cool, relaxed person that's just offering a product that the person already wanted anyway, you in there trying to convince the person it's the greatest product they needed and that they need to get it. And here's all the reasons why. And it's like, bro, calm down, take a breather, take a sip of water, get on the call and figure out why the person wants your product. When you figure out why they're there to get it, you figure out what issue they're dealing with right now. If they're dealing with the issue, if they're not dealing with the issue right now, what issue they will be dealing with in the future if they don't change what they're doing right now. And once you figure that out, you can figure out how to pitch your product and the outcome that is awaiting that specific person when they use your product, right? Because if I use a negotiation course, I may be using that to land a corporate partnership versus somebody else may be using that same negotiation course to bring, to try and get their spouse to sign a prenup, right? Or to try and get themselves to get a raise at a job. So just because we're getting the same product doesn't mean we're using it for the same outcome. And that's really what you want to be selling. You don't want to be in there so desperate that you're just trying to, show the person everything you memorized about the product, because that doesn't make them want the product anymore, any more than they already did. So the first sales emergency making you seem desperate and deceitful is the fact that you don't have any existing clientele. It makes you seem desperate because you're so emotional about every single sale after that until you make that first sale, and then eventually you realize, oh, I only made 1 sale, and you're just as desperate going into sale number 2. The thing that makes you seem deceitful is because you don't have any existing clientele. Like, the least you could do is have some people that you're working with for free, or something, some content that you're putting out there for free that people are using and giving you testimonials about. But if you have no existing clientele that are paid or unpaid, how is somebody actually supposed to trust you? So now you come across looking much more like a scammer who tries to make it seem like they have all these clients but really have none, right? Or they make it seem like they're making all these sales but they're really making none, right? Or to make it seem like they have all these grandiose products but they really have none. All their products suck, right? So that's what you not having any existing clientele will do in terms of making you come across desperate or deceitful. The second sales emergency: you're not visible or accessible to your audience. There's nothing worse than somebody actually putting up a dope post online that makes you do some thinking, and then you start asking them a question and they don't answer you. Or you see somebody do a really good interview somewhere, and then you go to look them up online and they don't have a social media account, or the social media account doesn't have anything on it. The social media account is full of memes, right? And full of memes and like text, like graphic text images, but there's nothing showing their face. There's nothing in them talking. Why do I know this? Because I've been this person. I've been the business owner who didn't make sales for a long time. That was just me earlier this year when I had to go back to working in the office and couldn't commit to meeting clients every day. So I had to make sure I changed my approach to sales, because it got to the point every time I met with somebody, I was trying to sell them so hard. Now it's much easier for me to sit back and speak like I'm in a negotiation, where I was much more comfortable versus in front of a customer trying to sell them something. Not being visible to my audience. I used to be the person who had a consulting business and didn't want to be in front of the camera all the time, didn't want to have to show my expertise verbally, and was only writing it in books and in posts and in captions, hoping that people would read it and believe everything I'm saying and that it came from me. Versus when I'm here, you can see me, you can feel me, you can get the voice inflection, you can see the things that I speak on, you can see how I dress, how I present myself, and see, is this a person that seems desperate, or is this a person that seems like they have they don't have my best outcome? They don't care about the outcome that I get from the product. Are they just trying to make a quick money grab? Are they trying to do something to trick me? Is this a social experiment? No, you really look at me and you say, this guy Trevor, he has the crown on. It threw me off at first, but I'm kind of liking it. It does shine nice in the light, so it keeps me engaged when he speaks. And he really seems like he's here to help. He's giving us free gems every night of November, and will likely end up keeping it going as long as we keep showing up and sharing his content past November. Maybe he'll do it to the end of 2021, right? You want to be visible. But not only do you want to be visible, you want to be accessible. So again, imagine I did all of these, these talks online and stuff. But then when you guys DM'd me or wrote me in emails or wrote me in the comment section under these videos, I'd never reply. I just don't reply to anybody. Like, that would make it seem like, yo, what's up with this guy? Is it that he's just so desperate to put out content that he doesn't care what the questions that we have? Or is it that he's really being deceitful and he can't answer these questions that I'm asking, right? So, number one sales emergency: you have no existing clientele. You're trying too hard, and there's nobody that can vouch for you, right? So it makes you seem desperate and deceitful. Number two, you're not visible and accessible to your audience online. So it's either you're so desperate to make money that you're not even willing to, put your face out there, or you're gonna, deceive us, so you don't want us to know who you are, and that's why you're not putting your face out there. Those two things are an issue as a salesperson. Even if you know how to close a sale, but you're not a marketer, you need to be out there, have your face visible, and have your voice and brain accessible to your audience. Third sales emergency: you don't have a collection of reviews or testimonials. That's a large issue, especially if you're somebody who doesn't want to be in front of the camera all the time, because how is somebody supposed to trust you? And then if you do have reviews and testimonials, they're from just a bunch of people who are your Facebook friends, instead of from people who can show that like they actually paid you something, or people who are authorities in their field, or people who actually have conducted interviews and have media platforms where they push expertise and a specific positive agenda to an audience, to validate why you're there, right? When it comes to reviews and testimonials, especially if you're new, it doesn't always have to even be a positive review. And that's the big thing. Like, sometimes we don't like only seeing positive reviews from companies, because it's just like, all right, what's the, these are just the good ones, right? Did they pay for them? Or are these just the 4 good ones and all the other ones bad? Do they only have 4 clients? When we go look for stuff online, like the e-commerce website, we trying to look at what shoes they're going to buy. Like myself, I wear a size 14 shoe, and my feet is a low endurance on my feet from playing so much basketball. So, if I don't have a good sturdy pair of shoes, like I wear, what are they called? Allen Edwards or something like that. But I just started buying those, and those are my favorite pair of shoes by far. Because I'm not wearing sneakers anymore. I'm going directly only into the shoes and boots game, and the Allen Edmonds shoes is what I needed. But when I went online, each pair of shoes that I found, I didn't just look at the top 10 reviews. I looked at the worst 10 reviews, right? Those bad reviews let us know what was wrong with the product. And the other part about it is you get to see if the company actually corrected those bad issues. So if I see that, it says, I tried these shoes. I see that the worst review on there says, the shoes came, but they were damaged in the box and no one returned my phone call. So now I'm here with some messed up shoes. I'm like, oh, these shoes look good, but now I don't know if these shoes are actually going to work for me, because if they get here and they're damaged, I don't know what happens. But if I see somebody that's the owner of the company online going through literally their bad reviews and saying, look, here was a bad review that we saw saying that our box was damaged and this person wasn't able to get in contact with customer service. So now we have put in the investment to make sure we have a more sound and secure customer service team that can take you guys' calls and emails from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., right? Something like that lets me know, wow, like even though this person has negative reviews, they're actually going back, looking at the reviews and making adjustments based off of what these people say. So even a bad review can work for you if you show that you corrected what they said went wrong. But if you don't show the bad reviews and you don't have enough good reviews, what am I to believe? Is me to believe that you're desperate and you're trying to sell this product without actually putting it out there to the market and having people test it, or you're so deceitful that you just have put out a few fake reviews hoping that it'll get me to buy, right? And remember, the reason it is so crucial that you have reviews of some sort is because not only can you use positive reviews of when you did a good job, but you can use the negative reviews in your favor by just showing that you corrected the action, right? And these are all things that you can show, before you even get on the sales call, but things that you can reiterate while you're in the sales call. And I'll go through that at the end. But matter of fact, let's go through it right now. So let's say you're on with a particular client and they want to know, I want to use you guys' I'm interested in you guys' product, but I don't know anybody who's actually using your product right now. So it's hard for me to gauge whether or not I should trust you guys or keep looking. Now you can say, oh, we actually have 4 current clients right now that we're working with, right? And let's think, you would think, oh, people want to hear that you're working with 40 clients at once. Not really, because if you say you got 40 clients, now you have to show that you have the capacity to really work with all 40 and make sure that you have their best interests, as your number one priority. Versus if you say we're only working with 4 clients right now, you can say something like, we work with a limited number of clients to make sure we're giving them the best solutions and the best resources possible. And if we take more than 8 clients at once, it doesn't allow us to be, as valuable to our clientele. So right now, with us only having 4 clients, we actually have 4 slots available for people just like yourself, for us to fix the obstacle or move the obstacle that's in your way of towards going to get success. Whatever it is, I messed that last part up. But you know what I mean? Like, you want to make sure they understand that you have existing clientele. Whether you have a lot or a little bit, there's a way to make it a positive and take the leverage out of that question. Second, being visible and accessible to your audience. Like, you want to talk about in the phone call, and they're like, yeah, I saw you guys in a interview online. I'm glad I set up the call, but I was trying to look for more information on you guys and I just couldn't find it. And you can say something like, well, where exactly were you looking? We have had some people who found us through the interview on YouTube, but we don't actually have a YouTube channel yet. We're a lot more visible and accessible on LinkedIn and Facebook, right? And if you follow us on Facebook, not only will you see content from us every 24 hours, but you'll also be able to access our, you'll be able to access our social media manager who can answer questions directly on the post, or refer you to the email of somebody who can give you an answer, right? Like, you wanna have something like that available, even if you say we're not very visible on this one platform, but we're visible here. Or, oh, that's funny that you haven't seen us on this site, because that's where we're most visible and that's where we bring in most of our clientele. So what places have you actually looked? Because maybe those are places that we should start putting our content on, right? So even their concern that they don't see you enough or they can't speak to you enough, you can ask them where are they looking and then change that. So now you don't have to worry about this concern from people anymore. But if you don't fix it, you come across desperate and you come across deceitful, and or but likely both, right? Because a desperate person is much more likely to be deceitful. Um, Again, having a collection of reviews and testimonials. Again, you want to make sure you have those because otherwise, you're screwed. But how do you say that in the on the phone call when they, if they tell you something like, yeah, I was looking online to see reviews and testimonials from other people, but I couldn't find any. So yeah, actually, you can see a lot more of our reviews on this place, or we don't have as much reviews on our website because we honestly we have so many reviews we didn't know which ones to choose from. So if you go to our YouTube page, we actually have every single review posted there, and you can go through them and see exactly what these people wanted and what they like. Or you can say, where were you actually looking for reviews, or what were you looking to hear out of the reviews, and maybe I can answer those questions for you now, right? But there has to be something there. There has to be a way for you to use this to your advantage. You not having reviews or testimonials really is hard to twist in your favor unless you're gonna come up with a reason why you don't have reviews. Maybe you had the reviews, but now you're editing them up, or you're literally you're gonna just fix the problem for them, which is where were you looking or what were you looking for, and we're gonna start putting our reviews there. Not to mention, I'm gonna answer the question that you were trying to solve by looking for reviews and testimonials. Again, it's easier if you just have them there, but if this comes up in the phone call, you can use it and take the leverage back in that sales call. And lastly, the last sales emergency that you need to avoid, unless you want to come across desperate and deceitful, is not having some sort of automated or secure stream of income online. What do I mean by that? If you're somebody, let's say a coach who takes the phone calls for these one-on-one packages and stuff, you still want to have something online. Let's say a course or a mini course, some sort of membership or subscription service where you're getting paid without you having to get on these phone calls and these sales calls. Why? Because if this person at the end decides they don't want this specific product, you can now offer them this other product where they don't have to make as high of an investment, or they don't have to have as much time available to work directly with you, and they can just use this other automated thing. Why is this perfect? Because you can stabilize your revenue or stabilize your expenses, stabilize your business without having to make those sales calls all the time, without having to get on these calls or jittery if you're not a good salesperson. And you can literally, stabilize your business by just having the automated income coming in the background. Another thing is, the last thing you want to do is have to go back and recall and repitch somebody that was already a client of yours, but they weren't, they got your product, they finished using it, and then they never came back. When you have some sort of automated secure stream of income online, specifically a subscription service or a mini course, you have something that they're always going back to as, essentially as an existing client, because it's just digital content that they can go back, rewatch, and resharpen their skills from. With that, you can use that to still market your business as well. So not only can you get paid from it on the front end, by selling this online product, you can get paid on it on the back end by it being a subscription or software as a service or some sort of membership. And then lastly, you can use that to generate more sales by having advertising and marketing and upsells within those automated digital products. Like I have with my Castberry Corporate Academy. If you're in the Castberry Corporate Academy, you'll see upsells there for you to join the Game or Leverage Challenge, for you to go download my free ebook, for you to go download my wife's free ebooks, for you to join my Facebook group, for you to, take a bunch of different actions that will take you to different places of value that will help you move obstacles that are in between you and success, or in between you and the goals that you are looking for. So those are the 4 ways, or the 4 sales emergencies you need to avoid unless you want to come across, or seem desperate and deceitful. And that is not having existing clientele, not being visible and accessible to your audience, not having a collection of reviews and testimonials online, and not having an automated and secure stream of income. When you have all four of those things, you have and you also feel the ultimate leverage going into every sales call. You're very confident because you know your money isn't solely dependent on the sales call. You're very confident because if they haven't seen your stuff online, you know there's a place you can send them to go see all your material. If they don't have somebody to recommend your product to them and give them that last push to make the to make the purchase, you can send them or refer them to a place where they can get to all your reviews and testimonials. And lastly, if they choose not to go on with the sale, at least you have existing clientele that you can focus your attention on and go back to working. Because one thing you're always going to hate doing as a small business owner or any business owner is going out trying to acquire customers when you have zero customers. Again, my name is Trevor Castleberry, CEO of Castleberry Consulting and author of the For the Hustler book series. Right now, I am live everywhere. I'm live on Clubhouse, I'm live on Facebook, I'm live on Instagram, I'm live on YouTube. And it's very difficult for me to figure out where you're watching this or what page you need to go to, because a lot of them have different names. So I have, if you'd like to follow me on all of my different channels, you can go to castleberry.com. I highly recommend it, especially if you like this video, because I do have exclusive content on every platform, meaning there's things I put on YouTube that don't go on Facebook, things that go on Facebook that don't go on Instagram, things on Instagram that don't go on LinkedIn, and all the way through. So to access all those different types of content, to see which one resonates with you best and which one is the most valuable, although I think you should just access them all, you can go to castleberry.com, www.castleberry.com, and you can access all of my social media links, all 5 of them. When you can click them, it'll take you right there. You can follow me and go straight through all the content. Not only that, if you're thinking to yourself, wow, not only is this man handsome, not only is this man captivating, but he actually is very insightful and he really just helped me. He gave me some confidence to go into my next sales call. Maybe I should, listen to some more of what this man has to offer. I can tell you there's so much more in store, going forward from what you just learned tonight. And in order for you to get the best offer I can possibly give you, the most value I can give you, you can join my 5-day Gain More Leverage Challenge, where I teach you how to identify, how to gain, and how to utilize leverage in any employee, self-employed, or business owner / entrepreneur negotiation. This is what I do. I've negotiated a bunch of different wages for myself working in construction. You got to think, if you work in a career elsewhere, you might be negotiating every 5 years, versus in construction, you're much more likely to be negotiating every 1 to 3 years, right? So I've got more experience negotiating my own wages. I've worked with clients to help them negotiate their own wages. I've been closing sales for my own business for the last 4 years, and I've been closing partnerships for my business all of 2021. This is the place to be if you want to be doing any of those 3 things, if not all 3, and learning how to do so with the confidence of someone with the ultimate leverage going into these negotiations. You can access the Gain More Leverage Challenge also at castleberry.com. As soon as you get there, all you do is click the join the challenge button. You'll be prompted to put in a name, email address, let me know how you found me, and you get right in. I'm telling you, this 5 days it'll cost you less than $100, and this is the most value I've ever given my clients in terms of negotiation. You don't want to miss it. It's live December 6th to December 10th. But if you get in early, there's all sorts of perks and benefits. Again, my name is Trevor Castleberry, CEO of Castleberry.com and author of the For the Hustler book series. And thank you for watching this video. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Share it out there. Let everybody get this negotiation and sales insight, because trust me, negotiation and sales is the #1 way to boost your income if you're at an income plateau. Peace.